Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new series. So we're going to be following a couple players in this series in their ranked ladder climb as they start to kind of progress up that ranked ladder. So in this game, we are going to be following NameSatchel here in the red, playing as the Vikings. A solid main of his at right at 800 elo, 801 against Mex in the blue, playing as the Maya at 804 elo. So right at 800 for this matchup. I'm going to go and fast forward a little bit through the early game. Maya is a Civ that NameSatchel, at least in his games with friends, is not super accustomed to playing against. So we don't see a whole lot of Mesopotamia. Not Mesopotamia. I guess, wait, is it Mesopotamia? Mesoamerican? Point is, these American Civs, we don't see a whole lot of in those games. So it's going to be interesting to see what his strat is here. If he's going to try to go for something different than his usual strategy for the Vikings. But as we know, Vikings do start with handcart. They get handcart and wheelbarrow for free. See what the Maya tech tree looks like. This is mostly... Oh, it shows it now? Wait, have I never... Wait, have I... I think they added that. I'm pretty sure they just added that. I'm curious if I'm just an idiot, but I think they added that into Capture Age. That's great. I don't have to look it up now in the middle of every game. So, the Maya get the Plumed Archer. They start with an extra villager. Resources last 15% longer, and foot archers are discounted for them, as are walls. So pretty heavily incentivized to go archers for the Maya. Vikings, obviously, here. NameSatchel loves to play a men-at-arms rush with this Civ, given the infantry 20% HP bonus that they get, which I'm able to actually see now. NameSatchel getting housed there for a second, but still a pretty eco game here for both players. Mech's going ahead and getting his walls set up here. He has a pretty amazing tree line here for setting up walls, so it looks like that's what he's going to go for here. Pretty typical start from both players, but one thing you will notice different about these two guys is... Hold on, sorry. First of all, 5 vill lead here for Mex. I'm not sure what... He starts with an extra villager. Resources last longer. And only 20-ish more seconds of idle TC for NameSatch. Hold on a second. How does... Alright, I'm losing my mind a little bit, I guess, but anyway, full onto food from the Maya player. Looks like he's definitely going fast castle here. We're going to go ahead and slow it back down to normal speed as his eagle scout starts to get harassed by NameSatch's scout here. Market coming in. Both players in the feudal age. NameSatchel scout does kill the eagle, so no scouting here for mechs. That will be crucial. NameSatchel, as always, going ahead and picking up his eco upgrades. The fact that he doesn't have to spend the resources, also the time, but he doesn't have to spend the resources on wheelbarrow, means he can spend those on double bit axe and horse collar early. Get those up. Yep. Maya with the cheaper walls. Mex is going to go ahead and put up the walls and finish up all the walls around his base. Going to go for chickens with 14 villagers here. So still super heavy on food for Mex. This is looking 100% like a fast castle play from the Maya player here. So wheelbarrow going to come in. What's interesting here is, you know, yeah, so the market's going to come in. We can expect a blacksmith pretty soon as well. Looks like he is a little bit too heavy on the food here. Not enough wood to pick up the forge, the blacksmith. So he's going to be a little late to that click up, I would guess. But NameSatchel doesn't really care if he's doing what we usually see him do, and it does look like that is what we're going to see from him. But Barrack's already out. Man-at-Arms upgrade is in, and we've got 8. We got 5 on the field, 4 in the queue, and he's got the villager count caught back up. There's a blacksmith here from Mex. So we're going to see him click up to Castle Age as soon as that's finished. But NameSatchel already moving forward with his men-at-arms. He's going to pick up Arson. He'll grab Town Watch. As usual, he'll put out his outposts to get that vision around his base. So fast castle tech. What am I saying? Fast castle tech. The fast castle here a little bit slower than it could have been from Mex here, but he does click up. He's going to hit this at around the 19-minute mark. And NameSatch continuing his man-at-arms production. So he's staying with 3 on gold. He's got the heavy farming eco going. He's going to bring in a second barracks. Curious to know if he will pick up any melee upgrades, armor or attack. But the time to strike is now here. So 22 on wood for Mex. He's a little bit overkill in his eco direction here. So a little bit heavy on food at first. Now looks like he's going to be picking up a ton of wood. I would assume we're going to see some move to gold for archer production, or some move to farms to get food going. Because this is going to be a serious issue real soon for Mex. So we're going to see what he sees from his perspective. It is now that he's going to start to see the men-at-arms. Looks like they're going to go for the house. Oh, nope. NameSatchel opts to attack the palisade. Watchtower going to come in, but the palisade is just going to get absolutely melted. And if NameSatchel can get here, these guys may not have enough time to finish it. He's going to try to quick wall, but it's not going to be enough. This is a big issue for Mex here. Even if he finishes this tower, he has to build another one for it to really do anything. So he can jump between the two. But he's going to lose a vill. 2 vills, was it? So 2 vill and a 1 vill down. NameSatchel going to take a couple hits from the town center, but nothing too crazy. The archer does come out with more on the way. Curious to know now. So still double barracks production from NameSatchel. He does have scale mail on these guys, so they're gonna have that extra forging attack and extra defense against piercing. So the archers will help, but 1, 2, 3, even 4. This is a lot of units that are suddenly in your base, so nothing on wood right now for blue. Fully garrison his town center. NameSatchel playing smart, really just being a nuisance. He's going to start to just take down buildings, but the men-at-arms just continue to pour forth. 11 more on the way here from the red Vikings player, so the mill is going to go down. NameSatchel here probably going to target the market. Yeah, that's going to really hurt. That's going to really hurt Mex. Look, this guy's in Castle Age, but he landed in Castle Age with not enough resources to click up to crossbowman. He had no military units on the field. Castle Age is great and all, but he clearly didn't go for castle. He didn't go for a defensive castle. He has no stone. He didn't mass up archers so that as soon as, that crossbow tech hit, he could be a serious nuisance. No, these are just regular archers who do now have armor, but they don't have any extra attack. And there's only 5 of them. So even though he's an age ahead, a lot ahead in terms of age, he can't really do anything about this. He is making a smart call, I would say, roughly. I mean, I would use these archers, because he can micro against men-at-arms. I do want to know, I'm curious to know if if NameSatchel picked up squires, but this is 13 on the left, 15 on the right, and they just keep coming. So much wood in the bank for NameSatchel. He's gonna pick up, excuse me, a third and fourth and fifth barracks, and just absolutely pump out these units. So crossbowman is in for mechs. These are cheaper, but nothing really in the town center. So the town center fire is usually that's such an issue, but it's not going to be much of an issue right now. NameSatchel, because of all these issues, he's causing the Maya player quite ahead in resources collected. The archers are going to deal some damage against the men-at-arms, but the villagers, NameSatchel finally moving in on the villagers, just to get some eco kills. Thumb ring going to come in for mechs, and now we got 17 men-at-arms. Still more on the way. NameSatchel making the smart move here. He's got this guy on the ropes at this point. All he needs is some skirmishers, which no doubt will be on their way very soon. More specifically, it looks like NameSatchel is going to try to click up to the castle age. And one of the 2 ranges that were creating his only defensive unit for mechs is now gone. Mechs not microing his archers. He's going to lose a few to those men-at-arms who are just going to take the fight. Just move in. Mech's trying to stonewall here. Again, not moving his archers around. They're just sitting here taking hits. He's going to split up his units. Very smart move from NameSatchel here. Chase the crossbowmen and go for the villagers, the other guys. Mech's scrambling, trying to put another archery range down, but he just doesn't have the production right now. NameSatch, 500 resources over clicking up to Castle Age. Just doesn't see any to. He's got this thing in the bag, focused in Mex's base. Not yet going to click up. The economy, the villager count difference is so drastic at this point. It's looking pretty dire for Mex. At this point, NameSatchel only has to go take out the towers, take out the ranges to force the GG. Mex going to put up a market, just try to stay alive. But the unit production here from NameSatchel is pretty scary. Castle Age does come in, and he's got 700 food, 400 gold. I mean, he's got a lot of resources in the bank, so we're gonna see a lot of units get queued up here. Upgrade's gonna come in. All he needs is some skirmishes to deal with the archers. The men-at-arms themselves can take care of the watchtower. No doubt will become longswordsmen in the Castle Age. Unless I'm losing my mind and that's a Imperial Age tech, like Cavalier and Paladin. But am I losing my mind? I'm actually curious now. Fleshing will come in. Skirmishers are going to be able to hold their own as long as they're up to elite. Excuse me. Trying to find these units of NameSatchels. I don't know where they are. Oh, they're here. So these are regular skirmishers. But still, even the man-at-arms there, it's going to be intimidating enough. These are stone walls, so he's not going to be able to get to that wood line. And the archers actually coming out for Mex here, so NameSatchel's biggest advantage at this point is the fact that he's clicking up. He's hitting Castle Age, and he has a 17 villager lead. He has way more military presence, way more production capability. And now I'm realizing that I am an idiot, because you can't get Elite Skirmisher until you hit Castle Age. So lots and lots and lots of skirmishers going to come out. NameSatchel went ahead and just threw a couple stables down too for good measure. He's going to pick up his eco KDs. Looks like he's just going to play the long game here. Continue to press his advantage and build up behind the aggression that he's set out early. Next, playing it smart, he's going to go ahead and just stonewall, because he knows these guys can break through a palisade wall like it's nothing. But Town Patrol now coming out for NameSatchel. These are a lot of upgrades here. Looks like Elite Skirmishers is going to sneak in behind all these units, but what I'd love to see here from NameSatch is just put a Siege Workshop right here, or put a couple down. You know, at that point, you had so many resources. Skip the stables, put a couple of Siege Workshops down, make a couple Mangonels, or make a few Siege Rams, right? Make a few Siege Rams, just push the towers, push the town center, use your men-at-arms to hide in the rams, and as men-at-arms / skirmishers, hide in the rams. Crossbowmen aren't going to be able to do anything against that because it's pierce damage. Villagers, most likely, is going to be the only way Max would deal with that. He would probably push with the villagers, try to take them out, and you just pop out of the rams, kill the villagers, and move on with your life. But NameSatchel going to play the long game here. So regular skirmishers here for Maya, but everything is going to hit. Gambesons, Squires, Long Swordsman. I was right. It is a Castle Age tech. Long Swordsman's going to hit. Elite Skirm's going to hit. The army is just going to keep massing up, and armor upgrades coming in for the skirmishers. Mech's trying to put a barracks forward. But obviously nothing really much is going to happen there. NameSatchel is going to see the stone wall. And we'll need to back up. At this point, I would be looking at moving around. Just hitting one of the other walls, checking to see if he covered his entire base. Maybe make some scouts, try to break through. NameSatchel's going to put a second TC down. First second TC of the game coming in here, and he has a just about 20 lead. So, again, the economy difference here is just staggering. Really, it's not... it's a pretty massive difference. NameSatchel's sitting pretty, maxing out his pop at 105 with units on the way. We're going to have a big fight on this hill here. But this is a lot of elite skirms. It's mostly skirms versus mostly crossbowmen and some regular skirms. So this fight's going to be pretty one-sided for these two players. Now, if this game does go late, Mex is able to get a foothold. Viking skirms can be very strong. If you get what is it? Bogsvigar. It gives Archer Line a flat +1 attack. So not the skirms, sorry, but the Archer Line. If he wants to go crossbowman, he could, and get into Arbalest with +1 attack. They'd be very strong. The archers, however, don't get... Oh, they do. I'm sorry. They do get the less archer armor. So, Viking Arbalests would be very strong. Warehouses here coming in from NameSatchel. Just playing the long game. Massing the army. Continuing to build the economy difference. He's sitting here with 900 gold in his bank and no siege workshop yet. So, monastery going to come out. So he has no easy way to get through this wall. If this is where he wants to come in, right now he's happy to just mass this absolute beast of an army so far. This is this is 43 military. He has 69, just about 70, with many more on the way. Military on the field versus Blue's 30, which are elite skirm and crossbowmen. At this point, it's a numbers game. Mex is on stone now. So is NameSatch. If he wants to play the very long game, he may come up, put a castle right here on the stone gate. Deal with it that way, but Bodkinero going to come in for NameSatchel. Again, this fight's really not going to be that fair. I mean, it's a lot more units than blue has. And any crossbowmen that are in there. Yeah, not sure what blue's trying to do here. Maybe he's targeting the long swordsman. This is just a huge army from red at this point. You may as well just go up and start hitting the wall. You'll break through it eventually. Siege Workshop does come out for NameSatchel. Nothing in production yet. But he's on stone. He has enough for a castle. He's got knights. He's got skirmishes. He's got long swordsmen. He's got monks. He's got quite an economy lead when it comes to villagers. Blue doing nothing to really fight this off with walls or anything. He's just going to put a third range down. And put a defensive castle in the back of his base. He's going to protect some of his food economy. He's going to protect his gold and some of his wood if possible. Yeah, that's right. He's going to delete the mining camp to make room for the villagers so that they can repair. He needs this thing up ASAP. This is an army of skirmishers. Lots of long swordsmen. He's got knights in there for raiding. I mean, there's really not a whole lot Blue can do about this unless he just hides behind the castle. Now, if Red's able to kill the town center and then get to the castle, Mex does not have murder holes automatically. Teuton's the only civilization that can do that. So, castle fire plus town center fire is really going to deal some damage to these guys. But, I mean, these are long swordsmen. They have extra HP. They've got arson. Town center's already halfway dead. Knights are going to try to sneak around and do some raiding. This is just too many skirmishes to deal with for Mex. They may be able to bring down this town center. But is it 170, 160, 150, 100? Not enough damage against these two guys. Are they going to be able to kill it? That's a lot of skirmishers shooting it, even though they just deal 1 damage. I mean, if they keep hitting it, it'll go down. Mex only has 20 wood in the bank. Town center's going to go down. But he no longer has any melee in there, so he's got to pull up some rams or some more long swordsmen just to get under the castle, because without murder holes, Blue has nothing else to protect this castle other than a few archers. He does have plumed archers coming out now, but again, that's another archer unit. All Red has here is skirms. Elite skirms with bodkin arrow and padded armor. There's not a whole lot that he can do. And leather archer armor, sorry. Not a whole lot that he can do. Even a few archers out on the field from Red. Here come the mangonels. 3 queued up from Red. I want to say, you know, like, Blue, just give it up, man. Like, you're so far behind. But Red's not dealt the killing blow yet. He's going to put a castle over here. This is a castle in Blue's base, to be fair. But it's not really pressuring a whole lot. If he knew that the wood line was over here, maybe he'd know that these villagers are running away. But if he knew the wood line was over here, maybe put the castle here and pressure the wood line. Just force the GG. But, I mean, at this point, why do that? No reason really to do anything than just take your time and take an easy win here at this point. Doesn't matter how long the game takes if it's a victory. Imperial Age going to come out from NameSatchel and chain barding armor. So he's got all his unit upgrades. He could go archers, he could go skirms, he could go infantry, he could go cav. They're all prepared. That is clicking up to Imperial Age with over 1,000 food, gold, stone, and soon to be wood in the bank. Blue trying to drop a sneaky TC on the far right side of the map. Let's see what kind of vision Red has at this point in the game. Has no idea that this exists up here. Has no idea really that there's a wood line up there. So he knows that there's walls. He knows there's a castle. Other than that, he hasn't explored the edges of the map, so he's not going to know that Blue is trying to sneak around here. He does have an Eagle Scout trying to be annoying in his second TC. This castle will take his time going up. You gotta wonder, though, you know, if you're mechs, you're like, all right, well, I'm so far behind, but like, he's not killing me. So, you know, may as well give this a shot, right? He's going to go out for the gold. He's got vills on wood. He's actually got only vills on wood. These guys are going to surely pop out and get some farms down. Yep. And props to him, you know, for giving it a good go. But I mean, look, we're going to have a trebuchet come out any second here from the castle. Or berserks. More infantry here from NameSatchel, may as well. Why not? Imperial Age is going to hit in 3 seconds. I'm assuming we're going to see a couple trebuchets come out. The mangonels have shown up. They're like, we want to get a piece of this. Mr. Siege is finally here. Of course, mangonels are not going to range the castle, so unless they could find some unit kills, they're not going to be quite enough to drop that castle down, as most of this is skirmisher units. The castle, of course, will just deal tons of damage as it's fully stocked with units. It's going to shred these skirmishers apart if they stay too close. Town center in Blue's base. So this is a 4 TC here from NameSatchel. Absolutely greedy. I love it. Here come the trebuchets. This should spell defeat here for mechs. Two-handed swordsman coming out. No doubt champion to follow from NameSatchel. Again, not really a whole lot mechs can do. If he had pressure, maybe. If it was a closer game, he might have a chance here. But NameSatchel has almost doubled mechs' 24,000 resources collected. Two-handed swordsman, 14 attack, 4 pierce armor. Light cavalry upgrade coming in. Crop rotation. NameSatchel does not forget his eco upgrades, even if he's 51 minutes into a game that he won a long time ago. Taking his time, guaranteeing this victory, massing the army. Trebuchet is going to come out. Castle will start to go down. Mex's only answer here is going to have to be to repair the castle. Buy stone to repair the castle. Or call GG. He has no other production. He's going to go ahead and drop another sneaky town center over here. He's going to get university. Not sure what he wants the university for. Maybe to get structure, HP upgrade, to get architecture. But this is a 3rd and 4th to come trebuchet here from NameSatchel. More than enough to do the trick here for this castle. Even if Mex had stone to repair it, he does not have the villagers there to do so. NameSatchel absolutely, NameSatchel absolutely dominating this game. No response here from Mex. He basically had nothing. A little bit too greedy on the fast castle, and just did not have enough resistance to the men-at-arms rush, which was just so efficient from NameSatchel. He has so many units out on the field. Too much to deal with. Two-handed swordsman just chasing down the blue army. Absolutely brutal, in my opinion. Some of the coolest units in the game. I think they actually look better than champions, to be honest with you. I think they absolutely look sick. Mex calling the GG. Sees that there's no way he pulls a win out of this game and gives it up. Beautiful game here from NameSatchel. Just took his time. Look, he won the game. That's obviously credit goes to him for that. It won the game with basically no issue at that. But 30 minutes ago, with men-at-arms in Blue's base, he's going to put up the stone wall, right? How do you get through? You got skirmishers to deal with the crossbowmen. You got men-at-arms to deal with whatever else. You've got the units there. Put a couple siege workshops down. Make a couple rams. Mangonel. Just push the town center. Just get greedy. But if you got siege in there to break the buildings, this game ends a long time ago. Mex doing a good job at holding out as long as he can, but not really a whole lot he could have done past the 15-20 minute mark at that point. Great game here from NameSatchel. Very, very solid, decisive victory.